Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's PNG. Flux with the news. Flux with the news. Absolute. Let's talk about populism. We want to become populism, don't we, on radio presenting? We want to become in the top 10 radio presenters. I believe I'm academically and fundamentally above average, well challenged in today's modern society on PNG. We're talking quality, not quantity. We're talking inspire, not expire. It's UK politics. Inspire, not expire. Absolute populism. Absolute populism. I want to become fundamentally and academically in charge of my actions and the way I tell and speak throughout the audience who will actually come together and subscribe. So we're talking about quality, not quantity. We're going to go into the HuffPost UK. Well, it's not UK politics, but although it is, it comes from American border. The HuffPost politics is from the American descent. Anyway, we can go into US politics first, then we go into UK politics, which is also HuffPost by the American in New York, I believe the finders are. Anyway, Trump politics in US today. Thank you all for coming through. It's PNG Proclamation News and Gatherings. I'm just changing up tactics slightly. Different journalism, different directions. See if we come out with the same outcome, the same outlook within politics. We was going to go into US politics. As it happens, it's run it's running a little bit slow, a little bit behind, little bit behind on the process. I've got a lot of applications all playing at the same time. Maybe this dilemma we're facing at this precise moment in time. My goodness, just bear with me. Bear with me too. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I know we're midweek now. I'm getting a bit behind on times. I've had a days off due to unforeseen circumstances. I wouldn't like to say too much over my radio station. I've got my car. I've got about 4 devices on, and I don't want to be, hang my dirty laundry out to dry. Pages are unresponsive. Going to UK politics, pages are becoming unresponsive. Anyway, let's have a little reflect where we left off last time. Aberdeenshire landslide. We was reading about that, wasn't we? That young child, 5-year-old, was shot in the US by what appeared to be a black 25-year-old. Colour, race, does it come into it? I don't think so. I think it's more of a mental health assistance that killed off the white young boy. It's not a matter of multiculturalism got out of hand or disruption. We just lead it down to mental health. I see a thing on Facebook as well. A white hooligan appeared to be under the influence of alcohol and narcotics, was giving a coloured guy on the London Underground racial abuse on a train. Not just one coloured guy, several, and they got off the train at London Underground. Not sure what station. I see it on Facebook yesterday, and the bald-headed big white guy was giving absolute hell and abuse at him because he's under the influence of alcohol and narcotics. He got served. He absolutely got served. Did he deserve what happened? What he had coming to him? Absolutely. He absolutely deserved it. But let me explain one thing. Should they have took it as a mental health action that is under the influence of alcohol and narcotics and let him get away with it without punching him and possibly killing him, that would have been a better option. But when someone is acting in such an unforeseen circumstance of mental health, just because he can't handle his drink and narcotics, he got served and deserved it in such a sense. Obviously, I don't like harm becoming 21 if we can help it, but at all costs, he got what was coming to him. He got a right hand straight in the chin. And when I see it and see the way he's acting, you sort of think, yeah, he deserved it. But at the same time, You think, I hope he woke up and realised he took a wrong train ride with his Oyster card, made the wrong choice of going down the influence of alcohol and narcotics. You know, you got because I'm Caucasian. I like to see the good and bad. Well, the bad got turned into good from both societies, trying to correct their wrongs. Two wrongs don't make a right, obviously, but trying to correct our wrongs where we go wrong. Sometimes we can't go right every day in our life. Some things overboard our skin, and we have to we have to prioritise our actions. But that is what happened. He got a right hand. He was asleep. This is hope. He's not brain dead, and he can calculate his actions, and he made the wrong direction of choice. His Oyster card sent him the wrong way, down the pub, buying narcotics, getting on a train, in a community in London, being dis- disruptive towards race is not a clever thing to do. In any society, small village, city, town, absolute disturbing to say the least. Anyway, he got served, so that's that. And next news. That's what happens, isn't it? I mean, unfortunately, we have condolences go out to loved ones and lost ones. But as unfortunately, or fortunate for some of us, life moves on. One day I'll die. It might be a bit upsetting for some of us. It might not be for a lot of us. But life moves on. Life's like a tricycle, like a bicycle. You have to keep moving. You can't stop just because we've had a tragic. We just have to pray and hope the good ones in life get sent away to heaven with the angels and looking over us. They live a long, prosperous life, and only prosperity matters. It's like leaving a legacy. That's all I want to do. I want to leave a good legacy for, everyone to think, yeah, he was talking a good huff. He's talking a good huff post. He's talking a good UK politics. He's talking a good journalism. He wasn't a bad presenter, although he has a few minute problems with his with his media, his social media, trying to express his feelings within UK politics. It's a bit of a slow start this morning, very, very slow. I don't know if we're going to get the full coverage today, so I'm just talking off the cuff at the moment, trying to keep the audience occupied inside PNG this morning. Let's hope we can get moving forward. Anyway, usually I'll do talk shows as well, like, things what people want to hear. 'Cause we'll have problematics in life, such as relationships is a big thing, isn't it, for our mental health status? If you're having a bit of a disagreement with your partner, or you and your partner are not very amicable or reciprocated, one goes out getting their hair done, getting their nails did, getting a tan on, buying a lot of clothes. You're the breadwinner. You go to work, perhaps. I'm just saying from a man perspective. Obviously, I'm not being sexist in any shape or form. I support feminism because men are just as bad as women. They go down the pub, watch football with their friends. And a lot of men that I've grew up around are probably still doing the same thing, going down the pub with their friends, drinking, going missing for the weekend on narcotics, watching a football match. Next day they can go out and watch the boxing ball. At least that's what they're telling their girlfriend or wife. But anyway, they go missing for the whole weekend. This is becoming not an amicable relationship, it's becoming a situationship. You go into a relationship blind when you first meet someone because you sort of want to impress them. So it's an amicable relationship to start off with. You're making out, you're making out your best thing since sliced bread, and then novelty wears off, doesn't it? You get in a relationship, novelty starts to wear off, like a pair of trainers. I like to put it. A new pair of trainers become old, then you want a new pair. So novelty wears off. You start playing up, and that's when your amicable relationship turns into a situationship. Can you keep a I don't know, full relationship that you've been in for some of these marriages, like some of us know, our grandparents, ancestors, they've been married for like 30, 40 years, have golden weddings, silver weddings, bronze weddings. Can you keep them sort of relationships, the love flux of flowing the same amicable situation as when you first met? I believe like you do a few wrongs and then think to yourself, a novelty of hating each other wears off, and you have to go back to thinking. Remember how we first got together when we was really flux with a love, amicable relationship, how it's so reciprocated, how we care for one another, how we used to do things for one another. You get to that point in life where you think, why don't we just carry on moving in the same formation that we used to? So I do believe you can turn things around. They do say two wrongs can't make a right, but sometimes it's what brings us together. Sometimes, not in all situations, because some scar wounds are deeper than others. Um, this is 10-minute class, guys, and I'm still not having a function of my UK politics. I'm speaking off the cuff. You can all kind of see my own wisdom, my own knowledge coming off the cuff here. So also I speak on compassion. Why do I speak on compassion? You wake up in the morning, you go to sleep at night. Without compassion, you won't wake up or go to sleep because you don't have no care for your kids, you don't have no care for your loved ones, perhaps. You won't wake up, our elderly's getting sick, or you work on a building site, they need you to be an electrician, they need you to lay the bricks. Without your compassion of waking up in the morning or being late, if you wasn't worried about being late for work, I won't go to work today. We don't need to lay them bricks. We don't need to be the carers in the hospital. We don't need to be flipping burgers at Burger King. There would be no that. Then that's the sign of no compassion. That's a sign of no compassion. It's like me sitting here giving the update with the news. It's me, my compassionate side, showing that I want to motivate people, showing that I want to motivate people just by waking up, talking, expressing what's on my mind, expressing my knowledge, expressing my feelings. Compassion is a big, big thing in humanities. There wouldn't be no humanities if we didn't have compassion. Now we get like not debt collectors, we get people that help you with debts and finance. It's because they've got compassion. They don't want to see people boil over and get their belongings taken away. Or you're working a bank, you're providing for the occupants inside the bank. You save your money. You're making people's money safe. That's your compassion. That's your compassion. Anything compassion. You can be compassionate for your elders that are dying, your mum and dad, or your nan or your granddad. You go to sleep at night because you know you've got to get up in the morning and support them. That's what I'm saying. Compassion without humanities. There is no humanities. That's the reason why we wake up every day. That's the reason why. My reason of compassion is I've got a lot of compassion, so I help people where I can, and also I do my way of representing and try to influence others to be on a long, steady path. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of studying. I've been reading a lot of books. I depict things out of books, even Bible. Everyone must read the bits out of the Bible. Might find it boring, but when you depict things out of the Bible that relate to your life, you think actually this part is touching because it actually relates to my life. It's sort of a bit of a law of guidance as well when you read the Bible. A bit like Parliament, they put laws and you have to stick to them. So it's a good path for your children and yourself to follow. Absolutely. You want to live a life of purity, away from narcotics, alcohol, and always say drink your cup of tea with the people you'll be surrounded by. Drink a bottle of whiskey around around whiskey drinkers. You can be an alcoholic, simple as that. So smother yourself with people that can be prosperous to your life. Always have a someone that's can influence your life. Maybe you want to be a wrestler, maybe The Rock, say The Rock for instance, or you want to be, I don't know, a gardener. Is it Alan Titmarsh? Someone like Alan Titmarsh. You always have that inspiration. Always have an inspiration. Always try and follow their footsteps. Doesn't mean act in every single. You've got to have your own style, haven't you? You've got to have your own style. Be unique. You want to be prodigious in your own way, your own formation. I don't think we're going to get this. I'm just talking simple facts. I like to say, because I believe I'm knowledgeable to have facts now. I won't call myself a prodigious upon the professor otherwise. If I didn't know life, speak in front of a camera, confident enough to speak in front of Castbox FM, and confident enough to hopefully interact with others that are calling in. Like a cancer almost. A cancer is someone that can depict a good story out of a book. I mean, I've read the book of Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. read I mean, me, you, or anyone read the book of Christmas Carol of what Charles Dickens. We think Ebenezer Scrooge didn't like Christmas, and it's about ghosts. That's what we think about. We don't think about the writer. You know, what is the writer trying to get out of the book? Not just to write a scary book. He's trying to, like the situation we're now in, public austerity. That's what he's trying to get at. Children going for poverty at Christmas. He's living in the book. It describes London houses around like Parliament area, all that sort of area. You know, the main London, because he wanted to get something through the Commons, which is a public austerity. Children suffering through Christmas. You know, lack of money, lack of adult, parents going to work, funding their household. That's what Charles Dickens' book is more about. Not about his best mate Marley being a ghost, died at the start of the book, dead as a doornail. First page in the Christmas book of Carol. Marley is dead as a doornail. That's his best mate. They're both debt collectors. Like I say, when I read books, I could do a book and story about constitutional law. I'm not reading off there's no scripture around me, none at all. Let me just prove there's no books, any shape or form. No books down there. This is all my house. No notes anywhere. Look, this is all my knowledge from my reading. Constitutional law. I read. The last death was by execution was James Hanratty, the murder of um, Bedford Hill. Lord Sir Lord Butler from Saffron Walden was the guy that prosecuted him for execution because he raped a driver, not raped a driver, he killed the driver, got in the car, killed the driver and raped his wife. And he's the last bloke that was an ex-gangster. Ex-gangster, I don't know if, no, he wasn't, I don't know if he's an ex-gangster, but the last gangster that was executed, James Hanratty. And also 1983, 20 days after I was born, we had the Great Maze Escape. 20 days after I was born on the 5th of September 1983. 1983, 5th of September. 25th of September was the Great Maze Escape, the biggest prison escape in UK. Cardiff, Great Maze Escape. 37 prisoners escaped. 2 prisoners got inside the prison with 2 handguns. 1 7-inch blade. One of the guys with a 7-inch blade left one of their screws, the prison guards, in a pool of blood, bleed to death. And all the prisoners, they dug a hole in a corner of the prison cell, and they got out and fled Cardiff and caused a mass disruption to Cardiff. This is all on top of my knowledge. Also, in a Sartoria review. Sartoria review is like something is tried in a big claims court and then gets pushed through a small claims court for it to be finalised and pursued. Spycatcher got put in a Sartoria review. Spycatcher, the book, it's very it's quite a phenomenal book. It's quite glorious, I believe. That's why it didn't get put through the first time. That's why it had to go back through a Sartoria review. It's an American book trying to get published for the UK, I believe, or vice versa. No, it might have been an English book. They tried to pursue it through American law first, I think. I know something like that, but I know it's definitely 1989, the same year as the Gulf War. My UK politics is not working today, but my academic integrity is. So we've had an almost 20-minute session. I'd like to keep talking to be influential and express my knowledge. What other books I've been reading? I'll tell you what other books I've been reading. The Faber Book of Beasts, poetry. Very good book. If you like songwriting or you want to be creative with anything you want to do, creative at work, be creative being a paint and decorator, you can be creative being a block paver. Faber Book of Beasts is very good. If you want to be quick-witty, read that book because it's about a lot about poetry. Poetry is very good for the mind to be quick-witty on the ball. I mean, if you're business working for yourself, you want to land a deal, poetry is very good to be knowledgeable with. Believe me, we need academics in everyday life. Believe it or not, if it doesn't, you've got to be fundamentally in charge of your thoughts, of your expressions, how you sell yourself, how you sell your business. If you're a car salesman, if you're a bank clerk, you want to sound well, you want to sound fluent in your English grammar, in your English knowledge. If like me, I'm a host on many sites, on multimedia, multimedia. And I reach out to all the Oxfords. I want people to think, actually, this guy is quite phenomenal with the way he thinks, the way he keeps expressing new wit, new ways of life. I want to inspire, not expire. That's what I want to do. I don't want people to come in here and think he's boring. Hasn't got a gift of gab. He's just, he's a bit slow. He's a bit slow on the wit. I'm not reading it, like I say, I'm not reading any script. I just like to keep my brain thinking, keep it motorized, fueled with unleaded unleaded petrol. But you need, like a Ferrari engine. I want to keep going, quick wit, off the mark, off the bot, on the, give to the gab. I used to have a give to the jab. Now a give to the gab. But I should have been a decent car salesperson, or even selling anything. But politics and presenting is what I enjoy the most. So I can just be myself. I can I can emphasise. I can I can put a politician voice on, but I just want to be me for the time being, till I get more confident in myself. I've done a few things on Facebook, very phenomenal, very phenomenal. I've had over like 4,000 views, but on YouTube it's slowly building up, slowly building up. I want to get over the 1,000 mark. You can see all my posts. I've got over about, I don't know, 500 videos made, songs, stuff of intelligence, stuff on UK politics, stuff on showbiz, all family updates. Car incidents was a big one I did start to do. But I don't want to use all my time integrity on these car incidents when I don't feel like I'm getting paid for my time integrity. As soon as I get over the 1,000 followers, which I strongly deserve, because I listen to a lot of presenters, and it's like I say, it's not about quantity, it's about quality, and I believe I produce good quality news. I just need the backing to fundamentally push over the 1,000 mark. You start getting paid as a presenter, and I deserve it, fully deserve it, because I come on here as a complete underdog. People discriminate my knowledge from day one, and already I've noticed I'm about 10 miles ahead of postgraduate students. I'm not even a graduate student yet. I'm only in my first academic year. Because I've been reading for such a long time now. I've got above myself. Not above my station. I've got above myself within knowledge. I'm grounded within reading. I just read on. Read books, and I read on. I've gone past my first academic year, and I've read on. I've read Winston Churchill book, The Wicked Wit of Winston Churchill. I've got other books on Margaret Thatcher. I've been reading constitutional law, criminal law, family law, and I'm getting knowledgeable on all different criteria. It's teleological, thoughtful process is to outline currents inside the UK. But see, I know I'm on the ball because I've been doing Castbox for over a year now, I think. I'm on Big O TV. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Plenty of Fish. Strange, isn't it? People think, why is he on there? I thought he had a girlfriend. I thought he had a missus or something. But people think I'm on there to sell myself. Absolutely not. I want people to think whatever, I'll use it as a media stance. My next part of my study is studying the social world. Well, for me, that's the social world, isn't it? YouTube's the social world. Big O TV's the social world. Castbox the social world. Plenty of Fish is the social world, because people are not on there not to find a relationship. People are on there to get through the pandemic lockdown and study how humanities work, how they try and sell themselves. I look at people and think, yeah, that looks like a cheap date. They're putting themselves right out there, but not necessarily. That's their way of thinking. What's behind the cranium, what sells a story, not what you see on the face value. You can buy a £200 shirt, for instance, in Selfridges. Let's put this to task. £200 shirt in Selfridges, the buttons fall off 2 weeks later. You're paying for the make, you're paying for the quality. It's like someone trying to, like I said, Plenty of Fish. They act like they're something they're not, like they're trying to sell their body. But really, behind it, they're very innocent. People people are very judgmental. They're judgmental and they don't know the real facts. behind what's behind the cranium, what's behind the heart. You know, the real mannerism. People don't know that how they was grounded as a child, how they was brought up in society. That's where the that's where the root of the problem lies. We tackle xenophobia. We look at white people, look at colour people, and then how can you be judgmental without not knowing the roots? You know, you look at me, people go, oh, he's a white boy. But you don't know my roots. You don't know I could be Caucasian. You don't know anything about me. You know, I'm just saying, for instance, so we're on the same wavelength. Or you can look at a coloured race and go, oh, he's racist towards white people, but his you don't know his roots. You don't know where he come from. So people should need to stop being judgmental and be thoughtful of their actions. You know, the way they approach people, the way they approach their thoughts, because thoughts can be hurtful, judgmental can be hurtful. Everyone suffers with mental health in life, you know, and someone's thoughts can break someone down into a bit of a breakdown, bullying someone as such, you know. Like sheep, I call them sheep. People that do that are like sheep, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon and think they can break people down by being judgmental. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'm gonna call that it for this morning. That is me just being letting myself flux to flow and expressing my feelings, my emotions, and have a wonderful week. Midweek, Wednesday. Wednesday is what usually the worst day of the week. But to be honest with you, even though we've had a bit of a disruption for the media this morning, I don't think we're going to get any what I started out to do. I've got so many devices on the go. Could be, it wasn't a bad brief chat, was it? Because it's more me expressing what was on my mind. I think it wasn't a bad class. Anyway, if you'd like to share, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. God bless. Speak soon. I'll try and be back maybe late this evening or tomorrow morning. Please share, subscribe, and I need to build up my following. Thank you for watching come together. Appreciate you all. God bless. Hello, Bombshell.